Welcome to anyone and everyone watching right now, because you are watching right now. Even if it's not the same time as the broadcast, you're still watching. Now is a very relative term anyways, but you didn't come to listen to me talk about now. You've come to watch these amazing, wonderful, potentially crazy for letting me do this people. Let's find out who they are and what they do if they're not doing this. In this corner over here, I'm just judging corners. I don't know where they are really. But in this corner, we have the superior sailor, Saber. So tell them, what do you do?
What do I do? Right now I'm swamped in teaching. I teach improv and theater and fine arts and all that jazz, but I also stream with Mercs of Mischief on occasion, and I love to be here. So thanks for having me. Oh, I also do art on Instagram. It's been a while since I did one of these things, so I forget a bunch of things, but I'll throw a link in the chat. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. And that is all right. Now, in this corner, we have the terrible taco eater, Tails.
Terrible tacos.
Tell them what you do.
I also teach. I teach music, and really busy with that right now. And you mostly find me here if I'm online with Dirty 20 Gaming. I also have a podcast that has been on a pause for a very long time, but it's on Buffy the Vampire Slayer and everything Joss Whedon. It's called Tiny Fences, and you can find that anywhere podcast stream.
Awesome. Now, for this corner, we have the festering forager, Farah.
Hi, everyone. I'm Farah. I'm also a teacher. I teach pre-kindergarten, and when I'm not here, I like to build cat trees out of foraging materials. So the name is accurate.
I just picked a bunch of random F starting words. All right. Audacious. Now, finally, oh no, sorry. For this corner, we have the lingering lounger, Lasumax.
What's up? I'm Lucimax. I do some streams with the Mischief Group and the lovely Dirty 20, of course. Do amateur modeling. You can find on my Instagram. And currently, I am working at a haunted house known as Demonton. Again, I will send some links in the description.
Auspicious. And now finally, in no corner, we have the selectively surreptitious, the Scarred Adventurer, which is me. And when I'm not here doing Dirty 20 gaming stuff, I'm running a small, sometimes active website called thescarredadventure.com. I'm not going into great detail about it because I am in a weird situation where I need to fix a lot of stuff. So yeah, we're going to skip it. So just to get these last pieces out of the way, our wonderful producer tonight and for every night going forward is the man, the myth, the legend, Kevin, the man who is Dirty 20 Gaming. Our virtual tabletop of choice for this is Roll20. The wonderful overlay is done by the immutable Thunderscape 7 with some stuff from Pixabay, I'm assuming. The character art that you see was done by Zara Hell. You can find the a link to them in the chat or the description below, and I will find some way to get that to you at some point. Yes, the fun music you heard in our outro, in our intro, and will hear in our outro is by Ben Sound. And finally, the system we are playing with is Masks: A New Generation. Now that that's all completed, and I don't need to talk about that anymore, let's get on. Page flip. Yes, I made a sound effect just for that. You're welcome, world. We open on our heroes waking up, feeling better than they may have when they went to bed. Because yesterday they started school and they took down a supervillain. Now comes the morning and everyone is waking up around the same time. And before we start, and I make you all have breakfast together, how did you all sleep? Did you guys have dreams? No dreams? And how did you get out of bed this morning? The floor is all yours.
I didn't sleep last night. I get insomnia really bad, and especially after having a fight. I think it's these powers, but I didn't sleep a lick. And I got that text on my phone saying I have to eat breakfast with these fools. I don't want to do that, but all right, I'm gonna go make myself some toast, I guess, and try not to talk to people.
I'd like to think that I slept well. I had a nice warm glass of milk and I slept like a baby.
I was severely injured, so I probably took several T3s and conked out.
Good thing you're feeling better now than you were yesterday, and you've marked off a condition from what you had before, saying for gameplay purposes. Otherwise, that doesn't matter.
I intermittently slept. I took hour-long naps in between reading the long book that I found about how this house works. And I'm trying to pretend that I am a second-year student and I've never been here before.
I'm also really pissed off that the only mug I can find is this unicorn head. And so this is what Grumpy Raiden is drinking coffee out of first thing in the morning.
You know, edgelords from Edgewood Academy, Edgewood University, gotta edge. So anyways, once you guys all get up and move into the kitchen living space and just kind of sit down and all begin to have breakfast, is there any conversation going on? Are you talking to each other, or is it just blank stares at each other as you go, we have to live together, we don't have to get along?
I feel like I would just be making like breakfast for everyone, and I'm just being a bit bubbly. It's like toast for you, eggs for you, sunny side up for you, bacon and eggs.
I have, as was described in the last episode, very baggy clothing. So much so that my sweatpants do the thing where it curls over your toes and I'm just shuffling. And I'm giving off the vibe that like, I'm not used to there being people in here. And excuse me. Oh, I just need to get that. Where's my unicorn mug? And then I see it and I'm like, And I just kind of grab a rando mug.
The mug you grab is big, pointy, and for some reason, all black. Why Whisper managed to miss this is beyond you. Because it hurts when you put it to your mouth and stabs you in the corners. It's just one of those, it's one of those aesthetic over-function mugs that you see that are just awful.
I go and sit in a random chair.
Do you want my coffee instead? That looks painful.
I got it. Is this decaf?
No, it is definitely caffeinated. What is decaf? Oh.
Yes. What you drink in the evening time. I definitely need caffeine. And I go and like sit at a chair that I specifically push into a corner so I'm away from everybody, and I just sip an ow every 5 sips.
I imagine as Nuance Moon is taking bread out of the bread bag and like going to pop it into the toaster, I just like when she drops the toast, I just snatch it and then I like toast my own thing with my own fire and then sit down.
Oh, that's much more efficient. Thank you.
Just for the fun of it, I would like you to unleash your powers and make the first roll of tonight.
Oh, well, I was in the
this
honors.
Afternoon. while you roll, Raiden thinks that's pretty hot. And also is jealous of Boyd's mug and is like, why do I have this unicorn thing? How did I miss that pointy black thing?
I noticed this. I'm just going to roll my eyes.
Unleash my powers. I'm trying to
Do you make that known in any way?
Okay.
Whisper?
I might say it under my breath, like bigger eyes and like hot. Yeah, I think it. Yep, I do.
This is the only time I was hoping that you would do a terrible roll. But your toast is perfectly toasted. Phenomenally. The best toast you've ever had. It really is a step above the rest.
Maybe your logo's on it.
And then I'm eating my perfectly toasted toast and I look at everyone and kind of raise my eyebrows, be jealous.
All right. Well, as you are all eating breakfast and making each other jealous and bleeding a little into your coffee, you all get a lovely little buzz on your PDA. They're called PDAs, right? I'm not thinking that's a false thing. Okay, anyways, you get a little buzz on your PDA saying today, going over what today's classes are going to be and giving you a general feel for what classes are like here. Basically, your regular class is more of an open lecture hall for any class you want to go into. There is no needing to be be at a specific class. You do need to go to class. Otherwise, why are you here? But you can choose whatever class you want to go to whenever you want to go to it. So just to give you an idea of what the classes are like, you have the classes that are available today are Banter, Cutting Your Opponents with Words by Professor Quipsilver. Yes, I made that name up. I'm super proud of it. For Team, we have Teamwork and How It Works for You, taught by Professor Legion. Rescue, Civilian Rescue, taught by Professor Midnight Priestess. Intel Gathering and How to Use Your Opponent's Weakness Against Them, taught by Professor Clever Sparrow. PE, Being Better at Being You, taught by Professor Titlehawk. Science, Mad Science and its uses, although mad seems to have been scratched out before it was all sent out to people. This is a photocopy of what you initially would have gotten just on your little PDA. And someone clearly scratched out mad and wrote mad over top of it several times. This is a very weird school. And finally, you have risk management, collateral damage, and you, taught by Professor the Scarred Adventurer, which is a strange name that none of you seem to really know anything about. Like, why does a Professor the Scarred Adventurer exist? It's definitely not a self-insert. So with that information, you can choose whatever class you want to take. And you can either go together as a group, or you can take the classes on your own and just explore and see what they're like. So starting with Whisper, because I know Aether will have to run off and change. What class sounds the best to you?
The Intel, because all the other ones are about saving people, and this one is like using people's weaknesses. Sounds dark. But I'm also kind of like, which one's Phoenix going to? And I'd like to avoid everybody else.
All right. With that said, now we go to Phoenix and find out what classes Phoenix is taking.
Whisper, did you actually ask me that? Or are you just curious?
I'm getting up the courage, and I'm also definitely said hot under my breath when you did the toast. And if anyone noticed, I would say literally, and then feel really dumb and bury my face in this unicorn to look cooler. Yeah, I think I would listen to where people are going, and I don't know if I ask you yet. I'm gonna wait and see if anyone else talks first. I wouldn't ask right out yet. No, not yet.
Okay. I have in mind where I think I want to go. I will probably not say it though, because I'm probably going to end off sneaking off to this class and probably just saying, I'm probably just going to skip, honestly.
Well, that's even hotter. And if I could get away with skipping, I'm definitely going to want to skip too, unless something comes up on my PDA, which I'm assuming it will, saying I have to go to class.
It will. It yeah. Basically says you don't have a choice.
All right.
You are going to these classes.
I'd skip
Parole
too.
needs you need to go.
So I'm trying to be cool with Phoenix. I go, I wish I could skip too. They're watching me, and I show my PDA over to Phoenix. Be like, trying to be cool.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna skip anyway, and you can find your own skip spot.
I will.
Your PDA suddenly vibrates and says, "We always know where you are."
As I'm cooking, I say, I don't know which is worse, like her actually burning her burning powers, or her burning you.
Just dive my head further into the unicorn.
You have to take a moment because you almost stab yourself in the eye with the horn.
Better than all the spikes I have.
All right. So I will come back to Phoenix later and find out what class she is going to after everyone else leaves.
That's probably for the best. Yep.
Yeah. So, Nuance Moon, what class are you thinking of taking?
Like one in particular?
One in particular. We'll try to fit more in.
Collateral damage.
Ah, risk. Risk management, collateral damage, and you. Fantastic. And I write these down somewhere because I'm a smart GM that remembers to do these things.
I mean, like, I look outside with the sipping the coffee and all the damage that happened during our battle that I caused. I'm like, yeah, I should work on that.
All right. And of course, you have the option to share this or just go off on your own, you know, as people do.
Probably be like a little bit quiet about it.
All right. And finally, Aether. What is Aether doing? What class is Aether going to go to and pretend? And what class is are they going to pretend that they are going to as a second year?
Well, one thing I was thinking of while everyone was saying their classes is, and for those of you who are watching, it's been a while since we played the first episode, so bear with us while we remember some things. This is actually Phoenix's first time seeing Aether, and Phoenix knows Aether. So I was wondering if there was any kind of reaction when Aether came out and shuffled to get coffee.
I think I would be like shifting eyes, like I would be watching you, but like probably eating or drinking something, but like not wanting to say anything and just like shuffling eyes, like watching where you're going. And then I think it's just constant eye contact, honestly.
As you make eye contact with me, I recognize you and get very excited visually, which is an odd contrast in comparison to the very nervous, stuttery persona that you saw before. And when I went to sit on the chair so far away, it was behind you, and I kind of, every once in a while, kind of look up at your class list, and at one point I go, "Where are you gonna go?"
I don't know yet.
Oh.
And like stuff my face. It's obvious, like I think that the body language is saying that like I know where I'm going, but I'm not telling anybody where I'm going.
I didn't think I'd see you here, and I just thought, you know, we could spend some more time together here somehow. But you don't have to tell me.
Well, which one do you want to go to?
Well, technically I'm a second year. I
You're
guess
not.
I'll. What? Yeah. What?
Oh.
You don't know. Yeah. I got a different class list, so I guess I'll see you later. But I'm curious what you're gonna take. If you could tell me sometime, that'd be cool. Yeah. And I go sit down.
I bring more food to Phoenix. Like, oh, you were hungry.
And then what the Void will actually be attending teamwork and how it works for you, because I need to figure out how to be a leader.
Excellent. So the three of you go off to separate classes. And then, just so I can get Phoenix's class, what class do you saunter off to, inconspicuous-like, with another horde of people doing the same thing from other dorm rooms?
Having such a close call the last time, and having the situation where I was just being the bullheaded one that I am and just plow through with no regard to my teammates or like whose safety is what, I will be going to rescue.
Rescue.
Yep.
Excellent. So you're all going to different classes. I'm glad I saw this as a possibility.
It's Dirty 20 Gaming. Always split the party.
Yes. That's why you all have your own rooms and little showers in there. Because proper never split the party. You bathe together in one big bathtub. Anyways,
and Raiden would never bathe ever again.
Does Raiden even bathe?
Very rarely. Very rarely. I'm thinking about these superhero clothes and how I went into prison with them and I'm still wearing them, so.
All right. For the sake of it, we are going to start with teamwork and how it works for you. So after everyone goes off, I'm assuming that Aether has found a place to either time to either sneak out of the dorm room dressed as Void, or has gone to the hedges again.
No, it's so exciting that everybody is gone, and I feel like I can actually take my time to put on these tight friggin' clothing, because as was explained in the past, I'm normally so baggy, and so this like form-fitting and now getting more feminine, and I'm used to being gender neutral and being referred to as gender neutral, and the whole idea of like now I have body parts, it's like really uncomfortable. So I can take a second to get into myself as the Void, and then it would be like kind of a look out the window and see if there's anybody near my convenient window that I normally escape through, and if there's nobody, then I would just exit the building.
For the sake of this, anyone who might be is too busy going to class and trying to figure out where these classrooms actually are.
Fair enough.
So you have a pretty easy time getting to teamwork and how it works for you.
Cool. I am actually a little bit nervous because I have already experienced Professor Legion, and I'm not sure I'm a fan, but it's okay. I know this class will be important.
Yes. As you enter the classroom, it is filled with other superheroes, including one dressed head to toe in full golden armor.
Cool.
As you find your seat, is there any kind of person you're specifically trying to sit next to, or anything, or are you kind of trying to find a good place where you can be on your own, take as much notes, and then bring it back to your team?
Honestly, I'm a lot more confident and comfortable because Phoenix isn't anywhere around. So I'm cool with sitting wherever. I might sit by the gold person, or I'm actually quite drawn to cats. So if there's a cat-like person I can sit beside, maybe they purr every once in a while. I feel so good, you know.
Well, there is now.
The best GM.
Yes. You sit down next to this cat-like person, and wow, they are cat-like. It's kind of a humanoid body, but a little lankier. A nice large gray. The fur is a nice soft looking gray. Nice long tail swishing to and fro. Ears that twitch a little bit at your presence. And these big yellow eyes that look at you with what looks like if someone were to just take a cat's head, enlarge it slightly, and put it on a human's body. That's exactly how it looks, because why not? For other reasons, it looks a little bit like a tabaxi from Dungeons and Dragons, another role-playing game that we might be familiar with. I don't know. It's a very obscure game.
As long as it's not the one that gave us the orientation speech, because Void is not happy with that individual who was like, and you might be doing evil. Just kidding. It won't happen, but maybe.
Yeah, this is what you get for improvising a speech for the dean of the university. Definitely not me. Well, you sit down next to this cat person, and they look at you and they go, "What's your name?"
I'm the Void. What's your name?
"Ah, I am Catmandu."
Catmandu. I will also shake your paw hand.
"Yeah, that would be very nice." And as you shake
Wow,
the
your
hand,
toe beans are huge.
do you press on the toe beans a little bit to try and extend the claw?
Yeah.
One massive claw just hooks out, and it's about this. It's like what you'd see on a velociraptor at the museum.
So cool.
Please stop doing that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do something you didn't want to do. I just got very excited. I love cats.
I couldn't tell from your general appearance and your vibe that you're putting off.
Oh, your apathy is so cat-like.
Cool. Well, I might sit here next class or I might not. I'll
That's
come and
fair.
go as I please.
I'll pretend I
Because,
don't like you so you'll sit by me.
You seem very familiar with my kind.
Oh, yes.
As you were talking to Catmandu, Professor Legion walks into the classroom and just starts getting ready to teach the class and goes, "Silence! The class is beginning. I'm sorry, but I'm very hyped up on caffeine. And we will be doing this. So, what do you know about team working group attacks?"
I have my notebook and I'm ready to write down what anybody says because I know nothing.
Catmandu raises his hand and begins to explain. A team working group attack, as you so eloquently put it, is all about using your abilities alongside your team's abilities in a tete-a-tete, an exchanging of ideas and working together to create a more powerful and effective move. You are fairly correct. I am pleased. You get a gold star. Legion pops out of Legion and walks over, trying to put a gold star onto the fur of Catmandu. And as he tries, the hand is just swatted. So, for today, just going over the basics of group attacks, I would like you to pair off and work together to figure out how a group of people, how people you either don't know very well or maybe do, can work together to bring out the best in each other's abilities. Oh no, I'm stuck with you.
Oh, you don't have to be. I could go find some. That's perfectly
fine. No, it seems
fine.
fine that this would work out this way. So together, you and Catmandu, like the desks are cleared and everyone comes together and starts talking out how they would work together in a beneficial situation, which, as you may or may not know, more likely do know, isn't always the situation in an actual battle. But for this, you have enough time to talk and formulate a strategy of how your abilities of light and dark would best complement the cat. I'm not very much one for planning. I'll just sit here. And he raises a leg and just starts licking the upwards from his thigh. Great. While still making sure not to be incredibly inappropriate.
Can you tell me a little bit about your skill set?
Well, as you see, I am a cat person.
Yes.
I have all of the abilities and skills and some of the personality of being a cat. You see, when I was a kitten, and he launches into this backstory that you kind of pay attention to, but it's long and he uses a lot of similes. And at the end of the day, you realize, at the long and the short of it, is that he was a cat that someone turned into a person. And then he went, I don't want to be a person anymore. I want to go back to being a cat, and found a nice halfway point.
I find I'm going to try something. If about halfway through his story, I realize that we haven't been doing anything yet. We've just been planning, and other people seem to be trying some things. So I'm going to attempt to utilize my powers, knowing that I'm not very good at that. I'm going to try to make a laser pointer to see if I can get the cat person to follow it.
Okay. I would like an unleash your powers, and whatever you roll, I'm giving you +2.
Okay. Character sheet.
You will be rolling a freak.
A freak. -2. Is that right?
You don't need to type in the actually, yeah, type in the -2.
Okay, type in the -2. Submit. 10.
Excellent. I think it only gave you a +1, but either way, that's a full hit or a super success.
Ooh.
So with ease, what feels like you've been doing this for years and years, you make a small circle with your hands and just blow lightly, and a laser point, and all the light that you concentrate from that goes into a small little tiny beam, and you were able to point the laser pointer and make it move around. It takes a moment for Kathmandu to really notice it, and the second he does, he pounces on it. Claws extended, teeth bared. I'm thinking dogs.
That's great. I love it. And the idea here is that I would use the laser pointer to direct the cat's attack as a team. Should we be working together? It's from my stance, able to see ahead, and sending the cat person as a weapon was the thinking. And
right.
Chat says the red dot, it's yellow. Fun fact. And yes, earlier on, this is definitely literally the teacher's pet.
Yeah. In his monologue about telling you about who he is, he does mention he's distantly related to Felix, the headmaster of the school.
Good. My favorite human. Tabaxi thing.
Yeah, I think he's large enough to be considered a Lionel, but yeah, that's not important. It's really not important.
But the nerds are listening, so you have to give them a bone or two.
The nerds are listening, yeah. I mean, the nerds are me as well, so it just makes sense. But you work on that, and Kathmandu also recommends if you are able to darken the room, giving him an advantage with his night vision.
Yes.
You would be able to infiltrate and sneak through and attack his target much more effectively than if they could see him coming.
I love it. And is he able to communicate this to me while he's in his laser thing, or is that after he's come out of it?
It's a little after.
Great.
Because when that happens, the eyes, wide circles. It's almost entirely pupil when you look at him in the eyes, and then you go, I need to turn this off. This is creepy.
Yeah, yeah. Very primal, primitive, not really thinking intellectually. And then, well, I also want to apologize. Like, I hope I didn't talk to you about that first. I just wanted to try something, and I hope I didn't hurt your feelings.
I don't think that I have hurt feelings in any way, but next time you come to class, or next time we see each other, a can of tuna would go a long way to smoothing out this relationship.
I do. I have a tuna sandwich for lunch. Would you like half?
And before you can even say the word half, it's all taken. And like how you would with a little mouse tail outside the mouth, just a little bit of the sandwich is sticking out. You say half?
It's okay. You'll get me back sometime, I'm sure.
Probably not. Although, I do have this, and just drops a dead bird in front of you. Kind of, it's a present. You don't look like you can hunt yourself, so I thought it would be good for you to have. You give me food, I'll give you food.
I want to reach out and just pet his head.
And he lets that happen for a
Thank
few
you for
moments.
the gift.
He lets it happen for about 5 seconds before claws come out and he bats your hand away.
Fair.
You're not injured, but you are scratched.
Ow.
And the class continues on. You trying new team moves out, both with Kathmandu. Later on, you try some out with this pompous jackass named Super Heroic, the dude in full gold armor. Like, something about him seems off, honestly. But that continues on.
Does Kathmandu know anything about the jerk? Like, if we had a conversation about it, could I get more information or no?
Yes.
Great.
Would you like to have that conversation?
Absolutely. Wow, that guy seems like kind of a jerk. Have you seen him before? Do you know anything about him?
Oh, yeah. His name is, what was it? Super Heroic. From what I understand, he is a rich, pretty boy whose father bought him superpowers. I never ask him about his father. It's all, Daddy! That's the worst thing I've ever heard. And I can hear a mouse fart from 2 miles away.
I'm sure you can. Is there anything that I can do to make my life here on campus with this individual easier? Anything I can specifically avoid or?
Not really. I think the best way to specifically avoid having to interact with this individual is to just avoid interacting with this individual.
My name is the Void.
Whenever he shows up, just feel free to go, oh, and then just back away slowly until you are shrouded in darkness and no one sees where you are. And then you bolt in the other direction.
Do you know why his name is no longer Super Heroic and what
No,
it
it
might
is
be
Super
now?
Heroic. I think I just misspoke.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. A cat's mouth is not formulated for human words.
Especially when it's got so much tuna between the teeth, huh?
That is also a thing.
I don't know what to do with this bird.
Oh no, frame it. Anyways, moving on. We are going to visit one of our other wonderful heroes and see how they're doing in their class. So we move to Intel and see Whisper sitting in a classroom with many other people in there. But the teacher does not seem to be anywhere in sight. It isn't until you hear a hello, class. This is Professor Clever Sparrow. You can't see me now, and that is the point. I am speaking to you from the little speaker on my desk.
Okay.
So, as you may be wondering, why does he sound like Kermit the Frog? Never mind, moving on. Now that you're wondering about Intel, we are going to discuss how we use Intel to better attack and disable our opponents.
Okay, attack, disable. Sounds good.
He goes on for a little bit about some stuff that you already kind of know. But he does really focus on the fundamentals of Intel gathering. And as the class goes on, some questions are asked and he answers, and it becomes a bit more clear and apparent he's in the room.
Okay,
but
so
where is he?
Yeah, I'm looking around, and the minute I heard the voice, I started looking around because I didn't realize it was coming from the desk. So trying to figure out where he is, who's talking.
Yes. And one of the things he does is, as part of your assignment, you will be trying, as part of your intel gathering today, you will use the skills that I've mentioned to try and find my location.
Okay, it's a game. I'm
Yes,
definitely
a very
curious
fun
now.
game. Ha 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 ha.
I whisper under my breath, "This guy sounds like Kermit the Frog." And continue to look for him. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Definitely am not taking notes, but I'm making notes mentally.
Okay.
What am I looking for?
Really, I like explore the room. It's a fairly average classroom. The only things that you know about this professor is that he's speaking from the speaker, and that he must clearly be somewhere in this room.
So I'm looking to see if people's mouths are moving, but I'm assuming there are people like me who were kind of whispering under their breath or talking to their neighbor or.
Yeah, a lot of people are going, "This Kermit the Frog jackass, what is going on?"
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking around to see if there's anyone that looks sketchy, but I'm also thinking there's probably lots of people that look like me who all look sketchy.
Yeah, you have your typical dark brooders in corner B, and your typical ne'er-do-wells in corner A. The front of the class is all the people trying to learn and do their best. But a lot of this intel class seems to be wannabe. I can't remember the wannabe thing that they're trying to be. I am not sure. Anyways.
Bunch of wannabes. All right.
You are clearly not a wannabe. So, what will you do to try and discover this professor's location?
Well, I want to hear his, he wants us to use what he's teaching us. So what is he going to tell us to try?
Really, what he teaches you to do is use what you know about the target. If you don't know anything about the target, try to make them slip. Like, accidentally reveal something. When you are intel gathering, the smallest details matter. And as always, work from what you know.
Okay.
That one is so important. It's told twice, just worded differently.
Okay. Thinking of asking a question to try to get him to slip. So I'll say, Professor, how can we find the information we don't know if we don't know the information that we don't know?
Well, to find the information you don't know, if you don't know where the information is, the best place to start is where you think the person might be in a situation where you're searching. What is the last known location? Clearly, with me, the last known location would be something that I've clearly touched in this room, because that is the last thing you would know that I have done. Now, what in this room have I touched?
Speaker, sir? You touched the speaker?
Yay! Gold star!
This guy really sounds like Kermit the Frog. Okay, all right.
So do you go over to the small speaker to find any information?
I think the people in the front row are more those type A personalities. They'd be there faster than I am. So I'm watching them check out the speaker, but because I'm not sitting in the front row.
Yeah, because you're watching carefully. You're sitting somewhere in the middle because you go posers there.
Yeah.
Preppies.
Somewhere in the middle.
Damn it.
Yeah.
So
what do they find? I'm gonna watch carefully.
You can see the eyes of one kind of just looking and following something across the wall. And as you pay more attention, you see there's a small, imperceptibly thin wire that is traveling around the room.
So it's not wireless speaker. I just assume it's wireless. Well, I'm also going to look at the wire then too and probably figure out about the same time they do where it leads.
Yeah, it leads into the ceiling.
To the ceiling.
And really, this is one of those things, the preppy kids don't want to tear apart the ceiling looking for him, but you kind of get the feeling maybe that's what he's wanting.
I egg them on. So no, just pull it down. I'm not going to do the work myself, but I can definitely encourage destruction of property.
Yes.
And
I'm
actually
going to have you
encouraging
roll-
destruction of property gets them a +2 if it's them doing it. It's one of
Awesome.
my.
Well, it won't matter for them. What matters is that you roll a superior roll for provoke
Okay.
someone.
Do I have any bonuses or penalties?
Not currently. It succeeds.
All right. Pull down
So-
that ceiling.
Unfortunately, one of the ceiling tiles hits you in the head
Oh,
because they're just ripping it apart.
now I have to shower. I hate
Yeah, you got like
showering.
plaster all over in your hair. And it's one of those, it looks bad. It's like you have dandruff and you don't want that feeling to, you want to come across kind of greasy looking, but you don't want to come across this.
Yeah, that's gross.
But as they're tearing apart the ceiling, a little thing starts to wobble and then pop down. And then you see a little puppet on 4 strings going, "You found me! You found the clever sparrow! Or at least his puppet! Because I am a master of disguise!"
He's a puppet?
Not really. You intuitive leaping person.
Okay. Are you coming down
I
from there,
am just
Professor?
Nope. You will have to trying to find me and figure out who I am is part of the Intel final assignment. If you
Are
can
you
do
not-
it, you pass this course and get a free diploma.
Free diploma. Sick.
So you can
Okay.
stop in 1 year as opposed to 4. But I guarantee you won't find me. Yay! And then with that, the puppet flies back into the ceiling and disappears from view.
All right. So now it's my job, or what I want to do is to find this puppet so I can be done with my parole in 1 year instead of 4.
Yes.
All right.
And with that, you have a mission, and you learn some very important things about gathering intel about people you don't know very much about.
Follow what
help
you know.
This will
Follow
help
the
you.
last thing they touched.
Yes, this will help you later on, maybe, if you use it. I don't know. You know, you guys are unpredictable. Anyways, moving on to our next class, we go to Rescue with Phoenix.
I'm going to go take a shower.
Yes, you do that. There is one student there that looks at you and just goes, you know, I can just rain on you. It's like a fishing rod, but it's just a little thing where I can pour rain on you. You know, if you want. Your silence says enough. I'm gonna go.
Rating on your parade.
Yes. Anyways, we do now move to Rescue with Phoenix, taught by Professor Midnight Priestess. While in the room, you see a woman dressed head to toe, a little bit like a nun, but also in one of those unnecessarily sexualized nun outfits, while still not being illegal, just provocative enough to make some people be carrying jackets and books in front of them. As the class begins, are you trying to make nice with anyone in the classroom, or are you just going straight, or are you just going to listen to the professor and do your best?
Yeah, the second one. I'm actually like, again, I didn't want to be here, but I still have one of my conditions that I'm hoping to clear, which is why I've chosen this class.
All right, I will award that honesty. But Midnight Priestess comes out, and Midnight Priestess stands in front of the class and begins. It's kind of in a gymnasium. It's not in a classroom like the other ones have been so far, because this is a lot of physical, how do I save this person from this thing, with a lot of practice dummies and cardboard cutouts of both civilians and villains, or just people with an angry eyebrows on them. Like Midnight Priestess is good at many things, Apparently, art is not one of them. As the class begins, Midnight Priestess opens her mouth and begins to speak. Hello, class. It's lovely to see all of you here. Each and every single one of you. Now, I'm certain some of you have heard about my sordid past experiences and why I'm forced to teach at this school as opposed to continuing to superhero, but we will get past that. Anyways, today we are learning about rescuing civilians and de-escalating the situation. Which is very fun that you chose this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As she begins to teach the class, she goes through some very basic rescue techniques, such as the dive and grab. And tries to teach you some very basic hostage negotiation. She stands there with the student. She has a male student in her arms like this, just in a bit of a headlock. And it is your turn to try and de-escalate the situation. But as she's doing this, you hear, oh, how big and strong you are. And there are some flags coming off of this professor that maybe you should pay attention to, you know.
So I will approach, staring at the priestess and also glancing down at the male that's in a headlock. And I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm just going to punch the priestess in the face.
Roll a danger roll.
Because I'm like, I need to get this guy out of the guy's hands, so it makes sense. But okay.
Yeah, she slides past easily. From your basic knowledge about the Midnight Priestess, she doesn't have any superpowers, but she's very used to dealing with superpowered people. And so in a swift motion, she's behind you, still with the person in the headlock, and she goes, and now he's dead.
Damn.
Let's try again.
Oh, I'm
now,
not good at this
how
class.
will you de-escalate the situation? There are many ways one can do this. You can try to get your attention on, you can try to get my attention on you. Of course, you could always try to attack me, but as you see, with an opponent that knows how to slip and weave, it's not always the best option.
Great. Okay. So what do you...
You can also bargain. Think, what would I want?
I was just going to ask you, what do you want?
And suddenly her eyes turn hungry while she's looking at you. And there's a licking of lips and just kind of a general feeling of, this isn't de-escalating the situation. If anything, you're revving her up. Well, isn't it obvious? I want every student in my class to succeed.
Okay. So I have to get this guy out of your hands. What do you want from me to make you not have him anymore?
Admit you can't save him with your powers and your own physical abilities.
Then I can't rescue him. If I admit
I'm just
that.
asking you to admit that you can't hack it.
You're saying that I can't? Whoa, and like the flame started to flicker on her shoulders. Are you serious right now? Do you want me to show you?
Oh, please do. I would love to watch you fail again.
Oh, the flames just like shoot out of her shoulders. Okay, So she is going to do another attack with like a fire fist.
All right. Roll another danger. And right before you do, you see Midnight Priestess whisper something into the ear of the man she's holding. You succeed. You hit what you think is Midnight Priestess.
Oh,
only to realize you hit the hostage.
Oh my God. Oh, this is a train wreck.
And then he, even though Midnight Priestess told him to, and he was the perfect person for this, he had hardened his body, he still ends up on the floor and coughs up some blood.
Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. At least you're free now. You're free now. I'm like,
no, at this point, he's dead.
He's not dead. He's breathing. He's just bleeding. It's fine.
You see, you can't de-escalate anything until you kick your ego out the door.
Okay. So
You're not the
I
best.
say I can't.
This is why you're here.
I say I can't save him with my powers. Is that enough? Good?
I want you to say you couldn't hack it and ask politely, a please with a cherry on top, to let him go.
I can't.
Ego, ego, ego. It's no wonder you can't seem to save anyone.
I don't need this. I'm leaving. And I head towards the door.
You leave.
Yep. I'm leaving.
But you have not learned, you've learned something from this lesson. But whether or not you're actually able to use it, that's up to you.
Oh, okay. Thanks for my lesson.
Anyways, now to the final lesson of now. And I'm sorry I've made you wait. We are doing Risk, Collateral Damage, and You with Professor the Scarred Adventurer. Are you trying to find anyone in this class, or are you just going to sit and pay attention to the lecture?
I'll look around to see if I can find somebody that I can hopefully relate to.
From over there, you see Jonathan from last time, the guy who showed you where to go. And he's waving. Hello.
Oh, I remember you. Oh, yeah.
That's great. It's good to remember Johnny Sweatshirt Arms.
Wasn't it Fast Fingers or something last time?
Yes, Johnny Eats Noodle Soups.
I need to make a list of like all your names, actually. This is actually very fascinating.
Ah, yes. Everyone wants to know about Johnny Delayed Gratification.
Well, Johnny, may I sit by you?
Absolutely. Everyone's welcome to sit next to Johnny Pants on Fire.
Just sit down and pay attention to the lecture while listening to Johnny's many, many names.
Johnny gives you a few more, but once the class starts, he is respectful and quiet. As the class begins, you see a man dressed in dark purples come out. You know, similar to the color of what the narrator looks like. Anyways, as he comes out, he immediately launches into his lecture. So you've come here to learn about risk management, collateral damage. and how to avoid it and what happens when you can't. So, can anyone tell me why it's important to avoid collateral damage and to assess the situation and to assess the risk of any given situation? Yes, you there in the gray.
Have reasons, so property damage and hopefully not to hurt anybody at all.
Property damage is fairly mitigated in this city, considering the wonderful superhero insurance almost every building has. What is more important is the second one you mentioned, making sure people are safe. As you know, I'm the Professor Scarred Adventurer, but as you see from my costume, it doesn't really look like I have any scars on this. And then he removes his mask and shows you it looks from a distance like it's just a few scars. It takes you a moment to realize that's just the regular skin. Everything else is scar tissue.
Did you take the collateral damage, if I may ask?
So some of you may or may not know me. I'm not as well known a superhero as, say, Judge, Steel Falcon, or Skyman. But I've been here for quite a while. And just because someone can claim to be immortal does not mean they are invulnerable. I have taken more than my fair share of bullets to save people. The collateral damage that I have to worry about is to them, not to me. For you, though, it is the opposite way around. Though you need to worry about the people you are protecting just as much, you need to worry about yourself as well. Because if you're dead, who's going to save them now? And he continues going on a bit more into the lecture. He talks about how opponents will often try to throw you off your rhythm, make you angry, afraid, insecure, guilty, or hopeless. How they will use these techniques against you to try and manipulate you into doing terrible things, or to not see the terrible thing that they're about to do. At the end of this class, you learn a few important lessons. One is collateral damage cannot be avoided, not fully. Massive collateral damage can be. And collateral damage is more important to worry about. The collateral damage you have to worry about is more important about the people and yourself. It's, in fact, one of the very reasons you carry around a staff like Torch. Because for your situation, if the magic goes out of control, it's the staff that breaks and explodes, not your arms.
So I suppose the ends justify the means. Don't feel great about myself.
This isn't a class you're supposed to feel great about yourself. It's one of those things of sometimes you have to make very tough decisions. And the best way we can prepare you for them is to tell you up front, you will be facing tough decisions. Even still, this lesson will not fully ingrain itself into your mind until it really happens.
Well, another option is I could, why not just remove yourself from the situation if you're more harm than help?
That is one of the many things we have to think about. Anyways, class, as he finishes his lecture, you realize he's been talking for quite a while. And a lot of people are looking downtrodden and kind of depressed at the end of this class. But each one of you know it was an important class. And as you are about to leave, because it's lunchtime now, everyone has finished their lesson and is going to head back to the dorms for lunch, you can see, you feel kind of on at the back of your head, eyes watching you, not angrily or anything like that, but out of sheer curiosity.
Can I sense who it is?
You can turn around and look.
Can I be extra and just appear right behind them and go, "Why are you staring at me?"
Absolutely. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You just fall into the shadows on the floor and then appear behind him. It doesn't quite work out the way you were hoping it did, though, because now he's just staring directly in your eyes as you rise from the ground. And this is the scarred adventurer himself.
It's kind of rude to stare at people, you know.
You intrigue me. You and the 3 others whose auras seem to be around you.
Well, they're good people. Some of them are a little rough around the edges. But they're good people.
You're strange to me. I hope to see you in class again. Bring your friends sometime. They're interesting.
I'll make a note. Well, despite not getting exactly what I wanted in this class, or hoping to get, I do appreciate your lessons. Thank you.
As you were.
Then I continue off for lunch.
Yep. So you all meet up again at the dorm for lunch.
Can I just, when I'm in the shower, I'm definitely rethinking that whole situation in class. And I'm thinking about what I could have done differently and how this could fast track my education, and that I've never used my superpowers, and that I should start. I'm at superpower school. So I start creating wisps while I'm in the shower and trying to make them into forms, and thinking how maybe I could have grabbed that puppet before it flew up the banister with my wispy powers if I had only been, maybe more awake. And I start wondering about, maybe it's because I had insomnia and I didn't sleep at all last night. But yeah, I'm just trying to control my powers and creating the wisps coming out of my fingers as best as I can. And I'm not so good at it, but I'm trying to create forms. And my favorite one is the wolf that I have the tattoo of on my arm. So I try to play with those and think about how, I bet you, and I'm hard on myself, I bet you everybody else used their powers today. I bet you like Void and Phoenix and, and Nuance Moon used their powers today. And I didn't even think of it until now in the shower, hours later, and I'm just being hard on myself.
Yeah. As you're thinking these things, one of the things of maybe was because I wasn't awake enough, you hear a voice that would be recognizable to one of you, but not to you. And it was just, maybe it's your don't care attitude.
What in the hell? I'm not used to hearing voices. Is it like, sounds like it's out loud, or it's internal?
It's internal.
It's internal, but it's not
so
mine.
It's like you thought, but it's not. It doesn't feel like your thought. It feels like someone else's thought.
Creeps me out. That's new. I don't like that. Yeah, that's
but then it's gone as soon as it showed up.
I'm gonna just pretend it didn't happen then.
All right. Anyone else want to have a little thing as they are on their way back to the dorm? And I'm assuming someone gets there as second because someone's already been there showering.
I will come last.
I mean second as in who came into the building, just because they have to change.
Oh, I don't know if I would go back to the dorm for lunch.
Okay.
I packed a lunch.
Which
I
was
was
eaten by
gonna eat.
Kathmandu.
Yeah, indeed. So I don't. Is there a school cafeteria or something?
Right nearby, a little just outside the campus, there's a little place called Pea's Den of Fish and Chips.
I feel like I probably work there as Ether, so I could go there and get a free lunch.
Yeah, you know the boss pretty well, and you know the manager fairly well.
Oh, I can't get a free lunch as the Void though. But that's okay. I could pay for a lunch.
Yeah, you know, you guys all have a school stipend that I've just invented now.
Maybe I'll go buy a lunch and then I'll go check on my team because I know where they live. I'll bring my lunch on over.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. So I arrive at the dorm as the Void and I knock.
With fish and chips.
Yeah, with fish and
Today's
chips.
special was haddock.
And Phoenix knows this logo. I think Phoenix has visited this place before as well.
The restaurant?
Yeah, Pea's Den
Where
of Fish and
Ether
Chips.
works.
Okay. So you're back at the dorm, right?
Yeah, unless you haven't arrived yet.
It's a little fish. Sorry, the logo is just a little fish swimming in between the prongs of a trident.
You may, as you're knocking on the door, you may hear like sizzling and just like whirring like fireballs and like bright lights coming like above the, like over the rooftop of the house or the dorm room.
Oh shit. I dropped my fish and chips and is the door unlocked?
No, it's on the, like in the field behind.
Behind?
Yeah.
Okay, I still drop my fish and chips and I run to the lights and the sound.
Unbeknownst to you, a gray cat man walks over, looks at them, picks them up, and walks away.
That's twice this cat stole my lunch.
You can never eat. You'll never eat again.
You know, it seems that he's bonded with you and he now knows where you live. He might visit.
Great. That's what I like. Anyways.
Behind, as you run behind the dorm, you'll just see me, like, I'm in an explosive fire and I'm just like throwing attacks and like fireballs like going across the floor or the grass and burning everything on its path and like just punching the ground and just having a like a fit. I'm having
a little temper tantrum.
A little temper tantrum, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a temper tantrum or a temperature tantrum?
Yes,
a temperature tantrum for sure. Does she need to roll anything for unleashing powers or anything?
It's just a rage-filled thing. I don't think I need to make it, because you're not directly engaging a threat. You're not trying to do anything. You're just being a toddler.
Oh dear. Good thing she can't hear that. So I approach cautiously, not getting into the radius of the rage. But I'm just kind of gonna maybe not the power of light, not the power of water. In a like moment in between a rage scream or a fireball, I'm going to very loudly and obnoxiously clear my throat and see if that makes any difference whatsoever.
You know what? Because you wanted to clear a condition anyways, we're going to do comfort and support roll.
For me?
Yes. To see if that gets through and pushes out a little bit of the I need to stop because I am a child-ness of this. I'm not saying you are. I'm just, you know, it's a mundane role.
Mundane. Oh, good. I have that. Hi. No bonus penalty.
No.
Nice.
Yeah. Through the rage-filled haze, you hear a
I stop, and then the flames that were huge and red, they simmer down to a blue, and then they cease. And then I look over. Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Are you okay? What happened?
My class wasn't great.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's whatever. Did you get lunch?
I did, from that fish and chips place, not far, but I left it on the doorstep. Food is really good to help when you get angry, I find. I mean, maybe not you particularly. I mean, and like Ether knows that would help, but the void can't say that. So just for most people, it can really help to simmer down. Would you like to go get some food?
Yes. I need food.
And I walk you back to the front door and see the open styrofoam container with all the food gone.
There's a note that says, so long and thanks for all the fish.
Like giant Toby and paw print.
Yes.
It looks like the dorm has a cat friend. I'm very low on cash, but I can probably get you something small if you want to go back there.
Can't we just get something from I'll go in and get something from the kitchen, and I'll bring it out.
Oh, sure. I'll just wait here then, since this isn't my dorm or anything.
Okay.
I sit on the step and just look at the Toby note.
I will go to the fridge and I'll bring a sandwich or something. So whatever I can grab that's in the fridge, leftovers or something.
Strangely, there is a weird amount of prepped food.
Okay, well, excellent. I will take the sandwiches and I'll take them back out and I'll sit beside Void. And
yeah, someone may have gone a little overboard making breakfast this morning.
Wonder who.
I will pass you a sandwich.
Thanks.
I hold it back a little bit. It's tuna. Do you like tuna?
Yeah, I love tuna. Why do you say it like that?
No reason. And I'll pass it back to you.
Across the way in a tree, you see a pair of big yellow eyes.
I intentionally drop a little bit on the ground. Not throw it, just for later.
Like you're eating it and then, oh no, I dropped a small bit. Oh, I guess it's dead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you want to talk about it?
Yesterday in the gym, you almost got hurt, and so I thought I would go to rescue the class.
Oh.
It didn't work out so great. I can't control my powers, obviously. Like I lose my cool and people get hurt. And I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, that's why we're here. I'm really glad you chose that class. And even if it didn't go well the first time, that doesn't mean it's not ever going to go well. They're called lessons for a reason. We've got to learn them.
not with a professor that just trash talks you to your face.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that happened.
Yeah, I think I need to find that class given by someone else.
Yeah, instructor-student dynamics are often difficult and challenging. What are you going to do if you can't find somebody else who teaches that class?
I'm going to have to learn to rescue another way.
Well, I also am just really flattered that you took it because I got hurt. I didn't think you liked me very much. The way you say leader makes me feel like you think somebody else should be.
Is that what you think?
It's just a feeling I'm getting based on your voice, but I'm starting to realize that it just might be the way that you say everything.
I find that I have ideas. And I it's fine. I wouldn't want to be the leader anyway.
Well, I'm happy to listen to your ideas.
I just don't, I think I get impatient. I feel I take the lead a lot. So if you're the leader, I don't want to step on any toes. So yeah.
Well, I chose to go to teamwork and how it works. And I think the whole point of teamwork, at least what I learned so far, is that you can't do it alone, leader or not. I need your ideas and support.
All right then. Well, I will give them to you if you want them.
Absolutely. If you can also work on being a little gentler, that would be really great. I'm new to this. I don't know what it's like to be a leader. I don't even have that many friends.
And I'm new to being gentle, I guess. I can't.
That's fair.
I don't know how to practice that.
We'll practice together. Thanks for the sandwich.
Yeah, you're welcome.
While they're talking outside, I'm gonna get some eggs from the fridge because noticed that Nuance Moon made so much this morning, and sit at the kitchen table and just kind of push them around my plate because I'm still kind of grumpy. Are you home, Nuance Moon?
If I may, while I was walking home, very depressed, just because I was really hoping this class would give more of what I wanted to have, like much more control over my powers that have collateral damage quite a bit. So, walking home, just playing some sad music. Every now and then, there's a cat jumping around, pouncing people. I think with a tuna fish sandwich, fireballs go nearby. Just walking home, and as I walk home, like the grass is just dying around me, or flowers.
Just behind you, there's a guy leaning on a rake. He's going, yeah, this is gonna be a little while to clean.
And like maybe tries to attempt to help, but then hesitates, like whatever, collateral damage.
Nah, but it's not that. It's just I don't really need the help. I mean, really, there are ways we can do this super powered wise, but the best way to do it is just to till the earth, put in some new seeds, and get rid of the burn stuff. They'll grow eventually. They'll grow fast enough.
I get it. It's just, when you are the one that causes said collateral damage, doesn't make it great.
But collateral damage ain't a bad thing. Sometimes it just means you haven't quite gotten the grasp of what you can do yet.
Tell that to the flowers over there. The garden's just dying. My powers, what I do know is it's about mood. Not in a good mood, unfortunately. It's a little hard to control.
I don't think we really have any great control over things. Besides, collateral damage is just a fact of life. It's not even a thing that we can really control in conversation, man. Man, it's just, sometimes our collateral damage is hurt feelings. Sometimes our collateral damage is a building falling down. But as long as we accept that these things will happen and do our best to fix them after the fact, I think that's what's most important.
You might have a point there. What was her name? I'm sorry.
Yeah, didn't tell you my name. You can just refer to me as the gardener. I mean, that's what everyone does.
I'm so sorry.
That everyone refers to me as the gardener? I don't mind.
Your garden.
Oh. It's just each dorm has a nice little garden that we try to keep nice so that you can come out and have a nice, peaceful, serene moment. And really, when that sometimes when it gets destroyed, which happens more frequently than you think, but it's just stuff that happens. Collateral damage is a fact of life. And as long as we accept it, like I said, and learn to move past with it, then one day, and he just puts his hand over the grass and it starts growing back. One day, miracles can happen. Well, he kind of just knocks the dust and dirt off his hands. And the garden, like in the brief interim you were watching him, has turned back to normal. Almost as if it was never burned to begin with. That's it for me. I don't really need to be here anymore. But if you ever want advice, just call on the gardener. Oh, we do have something called a student counselor. They might be useful. You see, they got this real cool trick. It's one-on-one telepathy. So anything that you think will only be shared with him.
Who's the student counselor?
He's a fella, an old superhero by the name of the Voiceless Stranger.
I'll have to check him out. Thank you, Gardner.
No problem. On a day's work. And as he's walking away, you start to notice he's got a lot of scars on him. And why is he wearing purple? And then the moment you blink and just try to kind of come to terms with what you think might be happening, he's gone.
It's a very strange place.
Yeah.
I pick a few flowers and head to the dorm.
Which is great. You see Phoenix and Void sitting outside. Do you invite them in to all have lunch together?
Yeah, I start making lunch. New set of flowers in a vase. And just alone with my thoughts, a little bit quieter. Like I'm better, but I'm just not my bubbly self.
Totally reasonable.
Did Void and Phoenix come inside, or is it just me and Nuance Moody in the kitchen?
Well, it sounds like we were kind of invited in, but like not cheerily. As you pass, Nuance Moon, I would ask, how was your class today?
Kind of depressing. Such really depressing. I know I'm not selling this well, but you should also check out the class. It was really good. Just really, there's some important lessons there. Also,
What'd you take?
I took it was collateral damage, was it? And
Risk.
Risk.
Risk management, collateral damage, depressing. I kind of look over at Phoenix.
Also, our prof seems to have a twinkle of intrigue with particularly us. So he sends an invitation.
Oh, for us to take the class as a team?
Just to come in for a lecture at least.
Cool.
I thought I was gonna take that class actually. But then
What did
I
you
thought
take?
I can't remember what it's called now.
Rescue. You took civilian rescue.
Oh, that was my next choice. Well, how was it?
I'm kind of glaring at Boyd for saying what the class was. It was shit. It was gross. Don't take it. The instructor's not great. Can't say. I would say it's like 2 out of 5 stars. Yeah.
Oh,
take it.
weird. You think they'd be more empathetic when it comes to like helping civilians?
Yeah, you'd think so. Yeah. I was going to take that class too, but I've kind of just come to terms with the fact that I just destroy everything. Like I'm just like literally a bull in a china shop. So like collateral damage is like, I just accept it. I embrace it.
I don't yet. We're getting there. I look out the window. There's like literally, I'm staring at the damage from yesterday. Like, yeah.
We got invited inside. I wonder if Whisper's in there. Do you want to go inside, Phoenix?
Oh yeah, let's go in.
So all 3 of us go in to the table where I think Whisper's sitting there already.
Yeah, just kind of pushing around eggs, and there's wisps coming off of me, like black, just kind of wispy tendrils everywhere. And I'm moody and broody, but I notice you all come in, kind of look up, half give a hello thing, and go back to my eggs.
Looks like Whisper. Everyone had a crap day.
Yep.
And with that, we bring an end to what has been this session. But before we do fully bring everything to an end, and I'll let you get final thoughts in. Actually, I'll let you get final thoughts in now. Go for it.
Just wanted to say as my character, it's like, so how about that drink?
I look up. I'm more interested in the drink than the eggs. That's for sure.
Just as you say that, you get a little buzz on your phone saying your next assignment is in. Botamp the Jumper has come and is robbing this store, and gives you the address. And you see it's a block away from the bar. So you think, might as well head there anyways, you know. But that will be for next time. But before we fully end, here's a small cutscene-ish thing of, you see Botamp the Jumper dressed in gaudy, terrible, like red and violet. It doesn't look good. It's like blood red, violet, and then just bits of pink scattered around. And he's making out with as much stuff as he can, trying to fill up his bag before he jumps away, starts trying to escape. But from this, and this is all seen through a small security camera, through which you can see just a bit of an outline of a man in orange with a strange kind of top hat, watching everything, going, So it begins. And with that, we will bring an end to today's session. If there's anything you want to say now before I get into my closing monologue, get it out now or forever hold your peace. No? Excellent. So, just as I'm closing this off, we had some funny superhero names today. And really, I always enjoy making up some. But if you have some of your own, please send them to us at our Discord or in the comments section of this video whenever it's on YouTube. For YouTube-wise, be sure to like, subscribe, and show your friends or your enemies. Show them why you're better than they are. And this that bit weirdly leads us to our 7 or so thank yous. So thank you, Saber, for bringing what is, for today, was the least dark character and the most fun toe bean addict I've ever seen.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
Thank you, Tails, for making a lesson for yourself after the fact your lesson had ended.
You're
and deciding
welcome.
to try and grow a bit more from that.
Thank you for being a GM.
Thank you, Farah, for letting me insult you as Midnight Priestess. It will not be the last time.
Oh, I look forward to it. Thank you.
Yes. Hopefully you'll get on good ground sometime, but you know, that's up to everything. And thank you, Lasumax, for bringing in a more introspective look at collateral damage and letting me introduce the Scarred Adventurer as well as the weird gardener that has nothing to do with the Scarred Adventurer whatsoever. Nope, not at all. Definitely doesn't seem like it. So of course, thank you, Kevin, for everything that you've done for both this channel, for letting me run this game, and for producing the show, and just everything in general. You are a fantastic person. We love you here and everywhere else. It's phenomenal. Thank you so much. Thank you. And one of my last thank yous is to you. Yes, you, the audience, viewer, or awesome person of today, tonight, tomorrow, whenever you watch this. Thank you for chatting with us throughout the show and the game on Twitch, just generally lurking. And thank you for liking, subscribing, following, or just enjoying this. You guys all rock. Now be safe, and as always, please be nice to each other.